Hey guys, it's Marshall Tingle with your Superior Ag Insurance Ringside report for this past week, the week of April 30th through May 6th. So we're starting to see a little bit of change in your cattle market across the state of Kentucky and pretty much nationwide for that matter. So let's talk about what's going on. So as far as cattle marketed across the state of Kentucky this past week, we're down a little bit. We sold 16,765 head of cattle statewide. That's down from about 21,000 and change that we sold this time last week. Now, what's this cattle market doing? Well, it's still good. Don't get me wrong, it's still good, but you're starting to see a little bit of buyer selectivity. You're starting to see a little bit of mixed prices in your market, and your trend's going to be mostly mixed. As a whole, though, we're going to call them steady to $4 higher, but there were some instances of $4 lower throughout the week, depending on where you were, depending on the type of cattle, and the spreads on these cattle are getting higher. Now, what does that mean? What are we seeing? I just think you're seeing a lot of buyer selectivity. You've got a lot of people cleaning these calf crops up. And you've got a lot of little soft, fleshy, balling type calves coming to town that they're not exactly turned out ready yet. They're going to need a little bit extra babying, and I think that's what's causing some of your deal as far as your price deduction on them. Now, as far as all of those preconditioned cattle that are ready for grass, those cattle are ready to rock and roll, and that market is where you're still seeing your $4 higher. So let's talk about these prices real fast. So we're going to call your 4-weight steer cattle, 4-weight and 5-weight steer cattle as far as dollars per pound is pretty daggone tight. So your 4-weight steer cattle this week, we're going to call those 245 as an average is what I want to call them. They topped off at 269. 5-weight steer cattle this week, I'm going to give you a 5-cent spread on them, 240 to 245. They're going to top off at 260. So that's what's going on. So you're still seeing that market is still staying really, really strong. Now, what's another thing that I mentioned, or that I noticed this week? So this week I also noticed there was less loads, especially of 8-weight cattle. You had some 7s and you had some 9s. But I do want to make special note and compare some heifer cattle today. This heifer cattle market this past week has been really, really strong, and that's a positive sign. So let's talk about these steers real fast first. So start off with some 7s. Here's 74 head of black steers, 729 pounds on the average, 214.10. So a really strong trade on those 7 weights. Now here's 66 head. These are going to be as close as to 8 weights as I can find for us here in Central Kentucky. 66 head of black steers, 796, $2.10. So that's back probably what we've seen a little bit from the last little bit, but it's still pretty good. You're right there flirting with your CME feeder cattle index on that, and that's a really good sign. Now, as far as your 9 weights, here's 43 head of 9-weight steers. These are blacks and mixed, so just black and a few Charolais in them. 920 pounds on the average, 190.50. So that's still a good trade on your steer cattle. But check out these heifer numbers. These heifer numbers this past week have been really, really strong. Here's your heifers now. Here's 23 head of heifers. These are all black heifers, 507 pounds on the average. 210 flat on those. Go up just a hair heavier. Here's 78 head of black heifers as well. 649 pounds on the average. 212.75. And then if you want to get into your 7-weight heifers, here's 82 head of black. Just a sprinkling of Charolais crossing these heifers. 729 at 195.75. So that just goes to show you this heifer cattle deal is really trading still pretty strong. And in this instance, you're trading way over what your CME feeder cattle index is on those 6 and 7-weight heifers now. And even on your 5 weights that would fall you into the light category on those, they're still past the CME feeder cattle index. So this heifer market is really trending up right now, and that looks really positive. But talking about your CME feeder cattle index, let's talk about it for the week. So it's been pretty much steady. You saw a little bit of a valley in it, but for the most part, the CME feeder cattle index is pretty steady. So start off the week Monday the 1st, you're looking at 202.82. Tuesday the 2nd, 202.70. Wednesday the 3rd, 201.53. Thursday the 4th, 199.46. That's going to be your low for the week. And then by the time Friday came around the 5th, we did rally up just a hair. So Friday the 5th, $2.01. Now, as far as your heifer cattle, I'm not going to go through the days on there. But remember, we sold some 649s at 212.75s and 729s at 195.75. Your CME feeder cattle index for the week as a spread on the whole is going to be from 179.51 in its lowest to $1.82.53. So as far as a whole, your Kentucky heifer cattle trade is really, really strong this week, and that's an optimistic sign. But as always, if you have any questions about an LRP policy, there's no better time than right now to employ this tool. If you have any questions on that, feel free to reach out to Ian Thomas. That's Ian Thomas at Superior Ag Insurance. Ian Thomas, 859-613-2453, or check him out on the web, www.superioragins.com. Thank you so much. Look forward to talking to you soon.